Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today is a very special day because I gotta harvest my pumpkins, squash, and gourds. As you can see behind me, we got a pretty good harvest. I just finished bringing them up from the squash mound and it took 6 wheelbarrow loads to bring everything up. It was all uphill too. Up. Puppy didn't help bringing any of them up, but he was there for moral support. Here is the harvest of gourds and pumpkins. We got a pretty good harvest this year. I didn't really count how many of each we got, but you can see we got a variety of things. We got bushel gourds, martin gourds, penguin gourds, some type of octopus squash, some little yellow gourds. I don't even know what they're called, but they got nice deep ribs on them, different colors. Some have green, most of them are orange. We got some of these green ones that are thicker and still have ribs. I wonder if you can eat some of these. I don't know, I just grow them for decoration. That's why you can see some of them cross-pollinate, and I don't really mind. I don't really mind because they're just for decoration. I'm not eating these. Some of them come out a little weird. I guess I'm smaller, has no orange on it at all. Those bushel gourds I think people do eat. And then look at these. These, whenever I grew them last year and saved the seeds, were colored like those and the yellows, but now they're white this year, so that's weird. And they got a different shape that's white because I have a white pumpkin, so I'm thinking that pollinated my white pumpkin, or my white pumpkin pollinated my gourds. And I got these little pumpkins, and then something happened. I got like a pumpkin gourd squash. Oops. Pumpkin gourd cross, I mean. It has a little gourd end on it, but a lot of pumpkin color, shape. So that's neat. I like how these things come out. It's always a scavenger hunt whenever I get to go through all the squash vines down there. These things are neat. These were dark green last year. I think these are a cross between like these and the octopus ones, so that's neat. These are new this year. I definitely didn't have these last year, and I grew all these from home safe seed. Everything here was from home safe seed. That's why you get weird things like this one. I think they call this a tooth shape in the pumpkin world, so that one's a little weird. The one that actually rotted in the field out there was also tooth shape, but it was a lot bigger. But like I said, the animals got to it and it rotted away. Doing, pup? I got 13 of these nice little decorative pumpkins, perfect size, nice stems on all of them. Got another little starfish looking thing. All 13 of these nice little pumpkins. And I got some smaller ones. This one's not quite ripe, needs a little bit more sun to turn green to orange. A little bit more sun. This one I think was Dill's Atlantic cross because it's got the yellower skin, but it's hard to tell because this is the Dill's Atlantic. Once it starts turning orange, it just didn't get that big. This is a really big pumpkin. This is what they grow all the giant pumpkins with, but it is the plant didn't do too well this year, so it didn't have enough plant to grow that big of a pumpkin. Now these are my big ones. These are giant Connecticut field pumpkins, and these are the 2 that I got this year. Not bad size. This one's really tall. It's probably, let's say, about 28 inches tall or long, depending on which way you set it. And then this one is a nice shaped one. I can actually stand it up straight, but I didn't want it to fall over. So I kind of laid it in there on a tarp inside a pot to raise it up. Now I did weigh these, and they're not a record of mine, but they're also just a Connecticut field pumpkin. They're not actually a Dill's Atlantic Giant, so they weren't going to get that big. But for a Connecticut field, I think they did okay. They're not any world record, but both of them weighed exactly the same, surprisingly. Completely different shapes, but they ended up weighing exactly the same, like to the 10th of the pound, exactly the same. 57 pounds, even. Completely even, 57 pounds, both of them. They're completely different shapes, but they are the same pumpkin, same variety. Now, I got something, I don't know what this is, I don't know what the cross is, but it's definitely a pumpkin crossed with something. And they gave me a cool looking striped pumpkin looking thing. I'm good with it. Here's another tooth shape. This is like a canine tooth, I think. It's a bit longer. And then we have all these snake gourds. Well, the snake gourds turned into little curlicues because they were growing on the ground. Some of them actually grew into a complete circle. Look at that. Made a perfect circle with this one. I think that's really neat. I was wondering if they would do that, and they actually did this year. Last year I grew them from my pergola over there, and they were all really long and straight. This one's probably the straightest. This one with a little club foot on the bottom there. Little curly cane on top. It'd be a nice cane actually if it was stronger. But yeah, that one's straightish. So this is actually a whole wheelbarrow full. It doesn't quite look like it because they all overlap, but there's a lot in there. This one is probably the longest. I don't even know. I got 10-inch hands, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 to the stem. I don't know, roughly 50 inches, at least 4 feet. So yeah, I think we had a pretty good harvest this year. And this is not all of them because the pergola is hanging a bunch of gourds up there. But this is everything I got from the squash mound, which is a pretty good harvest. They're not going to stay here. I just wanted to pile them all up here to get them away from the animals and get them out of the grass down there so I can mow tomorrow. So I'll be setting all these out for fall decoration this year and grow all my own decorations so I can use a bunch of them. And if I was buying all these every year, it'd get expensive. Just wanted to show you what actually came out from the 120-foot squash mound we grew this year. And I think it was a pretty good success. I didn't get any giant pumpkins, but there's always next year. And if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button down below. I do weekly garden tours through the growing season. So if you want to see some of that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post a new video. As we get into fall and winter, the growing season is pretty much over, and the gardening, it can't really get done outside because the ground freezes here. So we still like to get into nature. Oh, pup. I won't be doing garden tours all through the winter season. It's just for the growing season, but we still will be posting videos about the construction of the koi pond coming in, any other things we have to do to get the garden ready for the fall and into the spring. But we will be doing our fall preparation videos and the garden tours until the first frost. I'll still be posting videos about the koi pond construction that we are going to be building out here, as well as my indoor ponds and fish tanks, because I like to enjoy nature daily throughout the entire year, even when it gets cold. So go ahead and stick around, hit that subscribe button and that like button, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.